What's going on, Stepper? So today we want to discuss how to get your book that you wrote last episode on how to become an author, writing your first official book as an author. As you've already published that book, we want to discuss how you can get the book here on Audible to where you have audio versions that you can listen to on the go, on iTunes, while you're doing work, whatever you want to do, you can listen to your book. So we're going to discuss how to get it here from the text that you've already written and published to Amazon, okay? Now, for one, if you guys like to go ahead and skip along, there are chapter markers below. So you can skip below with any chapter markers to a different chapter, all right? Now, first off, in order to get your book here, we have to first understand that your book is already here. And this is the intangibles. If you guys, for some reason, would like to try out this book or sample it, go ahead and click that link in the description. You can sample it for free. But to get your book here, so your book is already here, and you have to understand that your book is already on Amazon. So at this point, you should see your book on Amazon if you followed the last episode all the way through. So now that your book is already on Amazon, you can buy the paperback version, or you can listen to the audio, or you can have it on Kindle. Now, in order for us to upload our audio files to our book and have our book on Audible, we have to go back to here. So right here is the ACX. So ACX is basically where you upload your audio files so you can get your book onto Audible. As you can see, this is the intangibles, the audio version, and this is the intangibles, the hardback cover, okay? Now you can sample the audio version, but you can't really sample the hardback cover except for the first few pages. If you like to sample the intangibles, again, click the link in the description. But so from here, guys, in order for you to get your book right here, you have to first go to add a title. So once you sign up to ACX, and again, if you have an Amazon account, you're already signed up to ACX. You just have to log in with your Amazon information. So now that you're logged into ACX, and this is, you see, you get your money and everything through ACX, all right? So add your title. So now if you, whatever your title of your book is, you have to go ahead and type that in. Now, my title is already claimed. As you can see, my name here already claimed the title, but I'm going to claim somebody else's title just for the sake of this example, all right? So this is my book, Kevin Simmons, Inside My Yard. Now, if you wanted somebody else to narrate it, you would press continue. But if you don't want somebody else to narrate it, you can narrate it yourself. You can press continue. All right. Now, what territory rights do you own this book? So you have it in the world, you own the territory rights to the world. Nobody else has the book, you the one created it. So number two, how would you like to distribute your book? And it's exclusive or non-exclusive. So for my book, I did exclusive because basically with exclusive, you're holding it specifically to Amazon and their partners. So you can really only share it with Amazon and their retail partners. So Amazon, Audible, and iTunes, and whoever else they're partnered with. Now, if you do non-exclusive, it'll be through anybody, right? So you can sell it through anybody, which, is more people than just those three main people. So, but the recommendation on why I did exclusive is because, where else do you really listen to audiobooks at? Like, I feel like everybody really listens on Amazon, Audible, or iTunes. And Spotify doesn't have books. So for the most part, the big listeners are at the 40% royalty rate. So why not go with the 40% royalty rate? All right. So in what language is your book written? Your audiobook is English or any other language that you may have. We don't discriminate here at Steps to Success. Now, right here, by clicking agree and continue, use Steps to Success, agree audiobook license, and please review, blah, 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 blah. All right. So agree and continue. And guys, don't worry, I'll be able to unclaim this book. This just is for the sake of this. All right. Now, this is if you describe your book for the audio resource. So this is, they already take the basically everything that you have here. So this right here, the description of your book, they already have it inside the Amazon system. So basically all this right here is already in. So now copyright information. And remember, I showed you guys how to get the copyright to your book on the last episode. So if you haven't saw that yet, again, make sure you watch that last episode. Print copyright. So you just put all the information in right here, right? So print, Kevin, year 2020, audio copyright owner, Kevin, 2022, right? So if your book was, this is helpful. So if your book was written 2 years ago or whatever book year you wrote it, it'll be different than your copyright year if you did not record them in the same year. So always keep track of that. My book is nonfiction, best category. And you want to do a real good job at choosing a category for your book. Audiobook details, narrator, D'Angelo, publisher, steps to success, reviews and awards, all that and more. All right, guys. Now from here, this is how, so as you see on screen right here, this is the part, and I probably discussed this with you in the beginning, but this part right here is what took me the longest time. So I actually recorded my whole audiobook. I released the book, The Intangibles, on like November 18th, the written version of it. I recorded the whole audio within like 2 or 3 days, right? At least I thought. So I recorded it 2 or 3 days, and then I come here to uploading it, and they told me everything was basically wrong. All right. So this is enter your chapter names. So right here, you enter all the chapter names, import table of contents from Kindle. You can do that. So import it. Does he have one? Oh, all right. So he got one. So we just go ahead and import it. This is all his chapter names right here. It's a long book. All right. So save and continue. Now, if we were doing his book, this is what happens next. So we will have to go in, and you see how they already have our chapters, right? So we have to go in and insert the chapter to each and every one of these. Now, what I just discussed with you guys on the just a second ago was that when I uploaded my book, everything was off, right? Everything was off. Literally, they said like, we don't accept this. We don't. I recorded the whole book, so that was like an hour worth of content. It took me like 5 days, 3 or 4 days, whatever. But bottom line is everything was off, and I had to go back and redo it, and I didn't know what was going on, right? So now this is the second part that's very crucial. Before you start recording anything, before you start recording any of this, you have to go here. And this is the ACX audio submission requirements, as you see right here. So you want to make sure your audio fits within these requirements, right? So the main thing that messed me up was the noise floor and the dB, so which is the decibel bytes, okay? Um, Basically the decibel bytes, and if I'm wrong, comment in the description what that means. But basically what it means is for how loud the actual audio is itself, how loud it is, okay? And it can be a peak. You see right here, the noise floor. This one right here is the biggest one. This is what messed me up, okay? So this is why I had to go through and record everything, and this is pretty big too, right there. Be at 192 or higher MP3. All right. So now that we got this situated, we know what our. Make sure you guys take a good look at this before you begin recording. All right. But now we're going to go ahead and get to the dirty work. The dirty work is the recording. Okay. Now, right here, I have a MacBook, so I have GarageBand. Now, you can use GarageBand, Audacity, anything that you really can use to record, you can use that to record. It's no different, all right? Now, another thing that you're going to need is this right here, bang, right here. You're going to need a microphone. You're going to need a microphone, guys, for you guys to be out there and when you're singing and when you're doing your stuff, you know what I'm saying, putting the ones and twos down, you're going to need a microphone when you're recording. That's what I'm saying, guys. The reason why is because when you have a microphone, it makes your audio sound the best, okay? Like right now, I have you guys on my Apple AirPods or whatever, and I don't have both of them in. Sounds better when I have both of them in on noise cancellation. That sounds the best right there. But for this, it sounds really good because it'll take away some of the room, and also you want to have a condenser. A condenser covers the cap of it. Now I'm in the middle of some movement and stuff, so I couldn't locate it. But the condenser is very well useful, so make sure you guys Google that. All right. So now that we got that taken care of, you want to make sure that you have the right settings before you start recording, okay? Now, the right settings in GarageBand or any other really recording system or whatever, you want to make sure these are the pretty much settings that you have. For one, if there's an option for you to do a filter, you want to put your stuff on narration vocal. So narration vocal helps you sound like, you know, when they do those animal channels and all that, it be sounding like that. So that's a narration vocal. Also, you want to turn the metronome off. So the metronome is the count vocal. It's like duh, 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 duh. You want to turn the metronome off, okay? You want to turn that off as well. That's the countdown. And now this is the Yeti stereo. That's the microphone I just had. Now the Yeti is not right now connected to my computer. Like I said, I have you guys on my headphones, but the Yeti stereo, when you have it in there, you will press this, right? So it's still in there from my save settings, but you want to make sure that when you have the input, you make sure you select the Yeti stereo input, because sometimes it'll be no input, okay? Now that that's settled, another thing that you really want to do is go up here to GarageBand and then go to preferences, and you want to go right here to advanced, and you want to make sure that the audio recording resolution is at 24 bits. So you want to make sure that this is clicked on, so you can click it on and off. So you want to make sure it's clicked on, all right? Now that you got everything squared away, guys, at this point, you're pretty much ready if you're a slow talker. If you're a slow talker and if you talk really low, then go ahead and start recording. But if you do not talk low and you kind of talk loud like me, now I want you to pay attention to something. You see how this thing moves up? This keeps you, like right now, it's recording through my speaker, right? So if you want to go up here and see what you're recording from, you can see right here. Uh, Output is the MacBook Pro, input is MacBook Pro microphones. Okay, so that being said, though, as you see this, if you want to change it, you can go up there. But if you see this, right now what's going on is that you're recording to the volume, right? So you're at zero point 0.0 decibel bytes, okay? So if you want to, as you see here, if you want to keep it measure between -23 and -18 negative decibel bytes, with the -3 being peak values and the maximum of -60 noise floor. So what this means is to set your settings right. You want to set your settings, in my experience, what helped me is making it go all the way down to negative like 20. So setting this to like -18. So setting that there, it helped me realize that I could not talk any louder than that. Okay. And now for an example, real quick, I'll take you to OBS and you'll see how loud I'm talking. So here I set my decibel bytes to 10, as you see right here, -10. So that means that it counteracts like how loud I talk. So with here though, it's at -18. So this is why in the audio version of the intangibles, I talk really low and calm. You can't have any emotions with your words or anything like that. You have to literally talk. Like you see now, I'm talking this low and it stays there. So if you're talking loud, if you're having emotions with your stuff, it'll go over it, and you literally will have to redo everything. So if you want to make sure everything stays in between this, and regarding the noise gate or the noise floor right here, noise floor. So I'm, to say I know exactly what that means, I would be not telling the truth. So to give you an idea on what I believe that negative 60 noise floor means, is that it can't be any like louder, or if you're like basically if you're like, there should be nothing to where you're going really low, okay? Like, if that makes sense to you, don't go really low and don't go really high. Stay between 18 and 23 is what it means to me. All right. Now, it worked for me after I got finished uploading everything. It took me another like 2 weeks because I was kind of like demoralized. And also, I was like, how do I do this? And it took me some research to figure it out how to do it. So once I figured it out, I stayed between 18 and 23 and everything was good. Right. But you just have to talk really low. You have to talk slow. And then once you get all that figured out, once you get everything uploaded, once you get everything recorded, at this point, guys, all you do is go to File, Save As. So you go to Save As, you'll save it, and then you'll save into your GarageBand or whatever other folders that you may have, and you'll be good. There it is. And then you're literally good from there. So from there, you come back here, and then you get to uploading. Upload everything, opening credits, and then the one big thing, it has to start off with like, this is opening read by Audible, right? So you have to say that in the beginning, and then at the end, you have to say the same thing, which is you just listen to something by Audible, all right? And then you record like a sample as well of the whole book. And then you're good, guys. From there, you go ahead and submit it. It takes a little second to submit, but how do I undo this thing? Make sure. I don't want to claim this guy's stuff. All right. Oh, man. They got me claiming this dude's book. I'll figure out how to get rid of it. But yeah, guys, that's the main thing that you want from there. Review the contract that was accepted. Oh man. Well, if anybody knows this person, tell them I didn't mean to do it. I'll figure out something. But yeah, guys, that's all you really need. Faithfully, you now understand how to upload or how to record your book A to Z. The biggest thing to take away from this is please read these guidelines before you start. Before you start, read these guidelines, and then you should be squared away from there. But yeah, you now know how to write your own ebook. If you haven't seen that, check it out. You know how to write and publish your own first real book as an author. And now you know how to record and publish your own audio book as an author. And in this age, audio is becoming more and more important as people become more and more busy, and also as we have become more and more accessible with having headphones. That's why I really feel like it's important for you guys to learn this technique, okay? Now, until next time, as always, if you don't do anything else, I mean, if you don't do nothing else, not anything else, at least get to stepping.